Hey there, thanks for joining me in this video. I'd like to take you through one of our clients' ad accounts today, and this is going to be a slightly more technical walkthrough. We're going to do a quick review, a quick audit of the account, and I'm going to show you what we have done on the account and the results that we have achieved. So now we're looking at an account of this competition site. So they are having some price draws here for different types of hobby competitions. So lots of pretty cool stuff here to win and low ticket costs as well. Now, when the client came to us, they were seeing a good performance, but the issue really that they wanted to achieve was to scale up the ad account to run at a higher ad spend and still achieve a similar return. So we're seeing that we're looking at the performance here of November 2022. They saw a 7.7 times return on ad spend, which is pretty good. They saw a low cost per purchase of £1.80. And now let's take a look as well. I always want to look at the frequency too. Now frequency is 6.4, which is really quite high. So that tells me that I don't think we could scale this particular campaign further or much further. And that's because the frequency is already quite high. So what I'd actually expect is that if we continue spending ad spend on this campaign, we'll probably see the cost per purchase go up, and we'll probably see the return ad spend to go down. Let's take a look at the targeting. So what we see here is that they seem to be running one ad set. So what I'd usually recommend is that we actually test out a variety of different campaigns, a variety of different ad sets within each campaign. So there's a variety of different targeting options. Now, they seem to be targeting. Let's take a look at their targeting here. They are targeting a few different interests. They've layered the interests. Now that works if you're running on a very low ad spend and a very small ad spend. You can layer the interests, you get a very targeted audience. However, that audience is going to be quite limited in size, and that means that the frequency is high. So frequency means that people are going to see the ads over and over again, really. A higher frequency means that they've seen the ads already, so a frequency of 6 times means that people in this audience within this 1 month only that we're looking at have been served, have seen the ads over 6 times. So that is quite high. Now, what I'd usually recommend here is that we test out lookalike audiences of website visitors, of people that have purchased, of people that have checked out maybe, of people that have viewed one of the competition pages. And we can test out different interests. So this was just a small list of interests in here, but there are probably a lot of other interests, maybe some competitors as well that we could target. And then I am really quite surprised that we're not having any retargeting audience set up here, especially in the gaming niche. I would think that people are going to come back, and when there's a new competition, they'd be eager to win that prize as well. So I would strongly recommend to run a retargeting campaign here as well. So that is retargeting people that have engaged with the ads and retargeting people that have come to the website. Now let's have a look at the ads, the creative. So we see there's only one creative running. Now this creative, let's take a look at the link click-through rate here. Link click-through rate is 0.7. I think that's okay, but it could potentially be a lot higher, especially in the gaming niche. Cost per link click. Yeah, cost per link click looks okay, but again, this will vary depending on the audiences that we're targeting, so there might be potential to get the cost per link click down as well. Now, these are the two most important metrics that I would look at for creatives. Now, oftentimes, people would look at the cost per click or the click-through rate. But these metrics, they don't tell you what we want with this campaign. Is we want to drive traffic to the website, right? Well, this counts all clicks. So this is if someone clicks on the ad, if someone clicks through to the page, this counts a number of different clicks. So I would always look at the link click-through rate here and the cost per link click. And now actually there's another metric hidden somewhere in these settings, which is outbound clicks and outbound click-through rate. The costs are often very similar here, but ideally we'd actually want to look at this rate, but it's not very easily accessible in the settings here. Now, what I would recommend is that we test out a variety of different creatives. We actually see that this one has been rejected, so we'd want to request a review for this ad and see whether we can get it to run again. And then we want to test out a variety of different ones. I also want to have a look at the copy here. Let's take a look what copy this ad is showing. Okay, so the copy isn't too bad here. But it doesn't really tell you much the about the brand. It doesn't really tell you much about the value proposition of this specific competition site, and I think there's probably a lot more that could be done here. Let's have a look at the actual ad creative. I mean, it looks a bit busy, I would say. So there are probably things we could improve here. What I do like is that it looks very genuine, and I think maybe for people that like to take part in these competitions, that looks very different from other competition sites. As with all projects, we started out here with a detailed strategy plan that outlined our optimization strategy, outlined a campaign plan for the campaigns that we suggested to set up, so including a prospecting campaign and a retargeting campaign with more ad sets. And we also included some suggestions on the creative strategy and the creatives that we might want to test out on the account. So, for example, we suggest just making new designs of the current ads. We can run single images, we can run carousel ads. We can highlight the different types of categories of competitions that are available on the site. Or just make it about the brand, about the mission and value proposition. Or it could be a special offer as well, especially for retargeting. We might want to use a special offer there to entice people to take part in a competition again. And also short videos, or maybe a slideshow could work as well. We then suggested to set up a top of funnel campaign where we target different interests and behaviors. We'd use broad targeting as well, where we let the algorithm decide who to target, which often performs really well. And then we'll set up lookalike audiences. Now, lookalike audiences, we always want to test out a lookalike audience of past or current customers. That is people that have either filled out a lead form, or in this case, they've made a purchase, they've taken part in a competition. A lookalike audience of website visitors, and now we can test out just all website visitors, or we can test out website visitors that have spent the most time on the website. And actually, we can then also create a lookalike of people that have visited specific pages. So maybe just of people that have visited a competition page. We could also create a lookalike of ad engagers. So that's people that have clicked on the ads, that have maybe commented or liked the ads. And then a retargeting campaign. We want to retarget ad engagers, website visitors. If there's a customer list of previous customers, we can retarget that too. And any previous purchases are tracked by the Facebook pixel, and there we can retarget them within a window of 180 days. Now I'd like to briefly show you the campaigns that we've been actually set up for this client. So we are now looking at the past 30 days. We've set up a top of funnel campaign, we've set up a retargeting campaign. Now these two campaigns are the ones that we have been running. We've just switched over to optimizing for return ad spend instead of optimizing for highest volume, which was the default for this and the previous campaigns. Now they're all performing pretty well. If we look at now, we're running at a higher ad spend now too, so this is to drive a higher conversion value. We're seeing a pretty good return on ad spend still, so we're still somewhere around the 6 to 8 times return on ad spend, around 7 times, I believe, on average. So this is still very similar to the return on ad spend that we were seeing before, but we're now running at a much higher volume. And if we look inside of the top of funnel campaign, we've tested out a variety of different targeting options here. So this includes different interests. This includes competitors, other deal sites. This includes lookalike audiences of website visitors, of social engagers. We've also tested out lookalike of people that have initiated a checkout and that have viewed specific pages. And then we've turned off the ones that have not performed all too well. And then for retargeting, let's take a look at the retargeting campaign. So here we're retargeting people that have engaged with the ads or that are following their social profiles and all website visitors. We've tested out just retargeting people that have added to their cart, which oftentimes performs quite well. But in this case, it did not perform well. That's why it's always good to test this out. And we're now just retargeting all website visitors. This often makes sense actually for smaller accounts. We just want to retarget everyone who has visited the website. And now as a result, in the past 30 days, we've still seen a good return on ad spend of 6.9 times, but we have seen 190% more purchases, more people buying tickets to the competition. So that's 1,036 purchases. That's led to a revenue to conversion value of £14,500. That is quite a good number, I think. Almost 7 times return on ad spend from the ad spend of just £2,000. We've also reduced the cost per link click by testing out different audiences and by testing out different creatives, and we've increased the link click-through rate. Now, I'm hoping I have piqued your interest, and if you'd like to explore whether and how you can achieve similar results, maybe do a brief review and audit of your ad account, I'd like to invite you to schedule in a free strategy consultation. On this call, we'll crunch your numbers, we'll crunch the strategy, and we'll figure out what strategy might work for you. I'm really looking forward to meeting you on this call.